dag landede en af verdens mest eftersøgte kvinder. Hver eneste dag modtager hun dødstrusler. Den somaliske forfatter Ayaan Hirsi har nemlig skrevet og udtalt sig kritisk om islam, den tro hun er opdraget og opvokset med. Nu er hun aktuel med endnu en islamkritisk bog, og jeg har været heldig at være en af de første, der fik lov til at interviewe hende.
Hun er omgivet af sikkerhedsvagter 24 timer i døgnet. Også her på sit besøg i Danmark, hvor PET er med hende overalt, og hvor information om, hvor Aften Danmarks interview skulle finde sted, først kunne oplyses få timer inden. Det er den pris, Ayaan Hirsi betaler for at forholde sig kritisk over for islam. Blandt andet gennem sine bøger og filmen Submission, som hun lavede i samarbejde med den hollandske instruktør Theo van Gogh. Han blev som følge myrdet i 2004. Nu er somalisk fødte Ayaan Hirsi aktuel med bogen Nomaden. En islamkritisk beretning om hendes egen opvækst og familie, der måske vil føre nye trusler på livet med sig.
You're still receiving death threats and you're surrounded by bodyguards 24 hours a day. How would you describe that kind of life?
Well, it's a constrained life. You don't have the same spontaneity as I had before I had protection. But again, it's from my perspective, it's common sense. There are threats, and it's quite risky being critical of Islam these days. And so I live with the protection. I live with the constraints because I think it's better to live than to die.
Aren't you never ever afraid?
Oh, I'm afraid sometimes, and it's not so much a fear of somebody is going to attack me right now, but just the idea that there are people out there who don't even know me, who will attack me because of what I write down and because of my expressions. And I think that is a fear now that I share with more and more people.
And now you have written this book about your life and your family. How would you describe Islam's influence on your childhood?
Oh, I would say Islam was of a major influence in my life. I was brought up to believe that Allah is the only lawgiver, that Muhammad is the last messenger, and that we should follow in his footsteps. And growing up, that's exactly what I did. I tried to behave as much as possible in a good Muslim way. I prayed, I fasted, I obeyed. One pillar of Islam is to be obedient, so I tried as much as possible to be obedient. And that influence is something that just goes with you, you would say almost for life. But then when I came to the Netherlands, I became secularized. I became an atheist. I call myself a humanist.
So what is it about Islam that you specifically criticize?
Well, there are a number of things. First, the idea of submission, meaning that you have to completely submit your will to a God. Second, when in that submission, the way women are treated. Men and women must submit to God, but women have to submit to men. And that leaves them with almost no freedom for their lives. There is a concept of the guardianship where, as a woman, you have to ask permission to go out of the house. You cannot sign any papers, you cannot do any job without a male guardian giving you permission to do that. And it's in some cases it's worse, because if in a case of divorce, you have almost no rights. Inheritance, you inherit only half of what your brother inherits. If you're raped, your testimony in court is worth half of what's that of the rapist, and so on. So there's a great deal in Islam that is very, very unfriendly, very hostile to women. And I object to that the most, but there are other things I object to as well.
When you look back, what price do you feel that you've paid for leaving your family? Because you wanted to be free, I understand that.
Yes.
But you also had to leave your whole family and
yes,
the bond between you and your family.
And that is a bit of what I discuss in Nomad, that the price you pay when you choose a life of your own, if you are born into Islam, the price is very high. It starts with rejection. In my case, my mother and my father rejected me, and other family members. At times they would not talk to me, at times they would curse me, at times they would say, you know, you are mentally unstable, and that they would pray for you. And in the end, before my father dies, he tries very much to bring me back into the fold of Islam. And I think that these are, I understand where it's coming from, but I think it's, it makes them intolerant. Even though people want to say Islam is tolerant, but it makes them intolerant of a person who makes a different choice. That person, like me, is considered a traitor, somebody who's selling out. And to leave the religion is one thing, but to continue to campaign against the misdeeds that are committed in the name of the religion, that makes Muslims, you know, continuously angry, because in Islam, there's no room for self-reflection, there's no room for self-criticism.
And today you live and work in the United States. Do you think you will always be willing to be a nomad and pay the price to be able to speak your mind?
Yes, I would like to pay that price, and I am paying it every day. I will now live permanently in the US, so I think that brings my nomadic days to an end. And I think the price is worth paying. It is worth fighting for the idea that it is possible for human beings to live without these rules that were written in the 7th century, and to come into the 21st century and take part of the human rights values that we've established. I think it's a worthy goal.
So you feel free now, even though you're always surrounded by bodyguards?
Yes, it's a paradox, but I feel free. I have the freedom to write, and you know, people say, but you know, aren't you afraid you might get killed and all of that? I know, for instance, if they kill me, they will not be able to kill the book on your lap. They will not be able to kill Infidel, the book up before that, The Caged Virgin, the book before that, because my thoughts are out there and they will spread like seeds. So in a way, I really think this gives me much more freedom.
Okay, Ayaan, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
It was very nice meeting you too. I enjoyed the conversation.
Me too.
En ting, jeg vil gå langt for, det er selvfølgelig min familie, men jeg er også kendt for demokratiet. Jeg synes, demokratiet er et af de vigtigste ting, vi har i vores samfund, og det skal vi være stolte af i Danmark.
Det er sådan noget som menneskerettigheder. Altså rettigheden til at mødes med de personer, man elsker, til at sige de ting, man mener.
Hvis jeg skulle kæmpe for noget, så var det for tvangsfjernede børn. Jeg har selv arbejdet i kommunen, og de børnesager, jeg har set, har været ganske forfærdelige og meget sjældent inden for lovens rammer.